Hello and welcome back to another video. I thought, clearly this is a different angle than I'm normally at. I thought for this video I could go through my reading journal with you guys because I am needing to update it as I haven't in a minute. So yeah, I'll give you guys a quick tour of it and then I'll tell you what I'll be updating. So it is this really cool like clear front and back. I got these off of Amazon. I got like 3 of them together as like a pack. So my front page is Caitlin's Reading Journal of the year 2025. And then, I'm gonna hold this. So we have my January TBR. So basically these are all the books I read in January. And then down, if I can hold it down here, I put Let It Snow, but I haven't done that in a while because I put how many books I read, how many hours I read, and how many pages. And then on this side is my review. So basically, I have highest rated, longest read, lowest rated, and favorite of the month. And they kind of rotate where the categories are sometimes. And I have like my ratings and how long my longest read was. So this was my thing for January. And then we flip over here to my series tracker. So these are the series that I'm currently reading. And I've completed the Folk of the Air trilogy, not the whole series. And then I've completed Caraval and I've completed Renegades. I actually need to check off, I'll do that right now. I have this felt black, not felt, but like small tip black pen, because I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. And then I think, and I read Powerful. I was gonna say, I need to update all this. I am currently reading The King's Scroll for the Alien Chronicles, so I'm not gonna check that off just yet. But yeah, so that's that. So I have like all the different series I'm currently working on trying to get through. There are some on here that I was like, oh, I wish I kind of would have put a different series on here, like the Inheritance Games, which I've already read. But I need to add Games Untold to that. I wish I could do right now. So I also these notebooks came with these stencils, which was really cool. So I'm going to use the small squares here so that like I make a perfect square. And we're going to add, obviously, with this baby. And we're going to go Games Untold. And I also have the Grandest Game, but the Grandest Games, or Grandest, however that's supposed to be pronounced, because I know that that's technically a different series. It's in the same world, but it's a different series. So then we flip over here to my February TBR, where again, like I have how many books I read, how many hours, and then how many pages. I read 12 books in February, and then obviously my highest rated, longest read, favorite of the month, and lowest rated. So I'll show you guys how I make these and how I do this for when I update my May TBR, because I've finished that now, so I'll show you guys how I do that in a minute. And then we flip over here to my 2025 overview. I don't know why, but when I first started writing it, I wrote it like, because I had the page like this because I was writing these things, so I ended up just writing them down like that. But I now started writing them like this, where like, for an example, April, I read 4 books. I read 28 hours and 30 minutes. I had 0 DNFs that month, 0 5-stars that month. How many physical books? I read 4. 0 Kindle books, 1 audiobook, because I listened to one of those books as an audiobook. And then 0 standalones and 4 that are part of series. So that's what my 2025 overview is. And then this page is my 25 books of 2025. I think I may need to get color one of these in. Do I? I'm checking, because no, not yet. I will have to eventually, but yeah. I've read a lot of them that they're all the ones that are colored in are the books that I've already read this month that I wanted to get through this month. So I think I have Red Rising, Fearless, Reckless, Sunrise on the Reaping, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Rain and Ruin are the last few books that I want to read this month. Not this month, this year. But that I may add more shelves and like do more if I wanted to. And then here we have my March TBR, where, yeah, they kind of all look very similar. This was the month that I read Powerless for the first time, so that's why it's my favorite of the month. I actually had some decently highly rated books this month. My lowest rated was only 3 stars, so I'd say I did pretty good that month with ratings. My longest was Renegades. So my Renegades was my highest rated, which wasn't really true, but I wanted to put Powerless as my favorite of the month, and I didn't want to do 2 back-to-back. So there's that. I read 8 books this month. And then we flipped over. This is my rating system. So I think I've talked about this in previous videos. This is how I rate books. 1 star is hate it, wish I DNF'd. So basically, for people who don't know what DNF means, it basically means like, oh, I wish I would have like stopped reading this. I wish I wouldn't have finished this book. It was so bad. Or I just did not enjoy it. And then 2, it was eh. It wasn't like I wish I didn't read this book, but I'm also like, I'm never picking up this book again. And then 3, it was good. It was average. I liked it. Would I pick it up again? Maybe, if I'm in the mood for it. It's like one of those ratings. And then 4 is loved it, but something was missing. Like I loved it, but it didn't give me kind of that 5-star feel of, oh my goodness, this book's amazing. I'm going to think about it for the rest of forever. And then obviously 5-star favorite ever. And then on the other page, we have my 2025 bracket. By the way, I got a lot of the inspiration for this journal off of Pinterest. I don't actually remember who all came up with these ideas, but if you recognize it and it's yours, thank you for the inspiration. So basically, this is where I write down all of my favorite books of the month. Not my highest rated, my favorite books of each month. And they go, at the end of the year, they will go head to head with each other in this bracket. So for January, it was Kingdom of Ruses was my favorite of the month. For February, it was Trials of Apollo Dark Prophecy. For March, it was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. And for April, it was Arch Enemies. So for May, my favorite of the month, I'll tell you guys that right now. Actually, what was my favorite of the month? Because Powerful was my highest rated. I think my favorite of the month is Queen of Nothing. That's what it was. Queen of Nothing. Even though I loved Powerful, and I gave that 5 stars, and I gave Queen of Nothing 4, it already owns 5 stars, and I already ranted about that book in my singular review of it, my video review of it, so. And then we have now my April TBR this month. If you can't see, I have some books crossed out with lines. It means that I planned on reading 7 books this month, and I didn't get to, not this month, well, April, and I only got to 4 of them. So, there's that. And my highest rated was Finale. My longest read was Arch Enemies. My favorite of the month was Arch Enemies. Because it's the same rating as Finale. And then my lowest rated was Eye of Mines, which was a reread, so I wasn't super surprised by that one. And then now we're into my May TBR, and this is what I'm going to need to update. So obviously we have the 4 categories, and I'm going to update all of this right now, actually. So I'm going to, where's the green? Actually, I need a green marker, not this. Where you liked? There it is. So I finished the Kill Order, and I finished Encyclopedia of Fairies. So that means I read all 7 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 books this month. And then pages, I will need to use my phone for that and do math, which I'm filming on my phone. So, and hours. How many hours did I read this month? I literally calculated, it was like 40 something. I'm gonna have to check that. I'll be back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Alright, and I'm back. So I read 42 hours and 30 minutes and 2,237 pages. So now I'll go show you guys what I do for this. I can actually, I do it on my computer, so I'm gonna move you over to where my computer is. It's on my bed at the moment. So basically, we're gonna pull this up. Really, I have you really close to my face. So, that was not my password. Whoops. Okay. So, I'm gonna flip you around. So, I do this on Google Docs because it just works that way. And basically what I do is I go up to inserts. So I've already screenshotted the books that I've picked. They're all right here, these three. These are for something else that'll happen later on in this video. So I basically I'll click one to just kind of explain it, insert it, but I want to make this way smaller. So I can't remember exactly what it was. So I kind of sometimes just go until I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. Which it needs to be pretty small to fit on that piece of paper. So I can't remember if I had it at like 1 point something. I'm looking at my screen right now and seeing if that's too small or not small enough. I think it was, no, I think I need to go smaller. I think it was 1.5. That width, 1.5, and the height was like, no. Yeah, so it's 1.5 width. So that's fine. And then I go back to back to insert, back to images, back to photos, and then click the other three. And remember, it's 1.05. So I will click this, image options, size rotation, and then just type it in, 1.05, then, so, and then obviously I have to do it with all the other ones, so then they'll all link up on the same page. 1.05. Did not enter that, whoops. 0.05. And then, yeah, so now they're all 1.05. So there we go. That's how you do that. And then I print this on our printer and basically cut them out and then glue them onto the page. I'll show you that in a second once I print these. I would like for them to be in color, please. Thank you. And print. And it's printing. So I'll go down and get that. The printer's not in my room. The printer's downstairs. So I will go and get that right now. See you in a bit. And I'm back, obviously. And so I think our printer has like no blue ink for some reason, so these are gonna look a little weird. But I digress. It's my reading journal. If I'm cool with it, I'm cool with it. So basically, how this is gonna go, so I have a glue stick. I would rather prefer using double-sided tape, but I don't own double-sided tape. So I'll cut these out and put them in their respective places. And then I'm gonna show you another thing that I have to update today. I need to breathe. I ran down the stairs and up the stairs. So, to quickly get this. But another thing that I'm updating today is where all my reviews go, because if you've noticed, not on none of my, I'll save this scratch paper for something. None of my like TBR pages have the like reviews other than like the ones that I pick, but obviously that's only like 4, and even then only like 2-3 of them actually have the reviews written underneath them, like their ratings. I shouldn't say reviews, ratings. So I'm gonna do a couple of pages for my ratings. So I'll explain how that's gonna work in a second, because I thought about it the other day and I was like, oh, I could do that when I do this. There we go. And then we're gonna cut off this excess down here. There. Oh, I totally made these ones way too small. Okay, yeah, these ones are really tiny, but yeah, these are way too small. You'll see it when I pull it up. But honestly, it's fine. I'm still figuring it all out. So I'm gluing it because even though glue is probably not the best way to do this. I don't have double-sided tape, so we're gluing. And then this is my highest rated. This was 5 stars. Powerful by Lauren Roberts, her novella. So I will do the stars in a second. And then my longest read was Supernova. So for those of you like, didn't you read? I did read The Nightingale. I did not finish it. I DNF'd it. So I'm not counting that as a read. I was like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did put that I read 7 books down because I did read majority of that. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to put 6 because I DNF'd The Nightingale, so I don't count that as... I did read it, but I didn't finish it. So I finished 6 books this month, which is upsetting, but... And then The Kill Order was my lowest rated, so you're here. And then my longest read was Supernova, and my favorite of the month was Queen of Nothing, which is true. I actually really loved, as much as I loved Powerful, which I really did, it already got the 5-star spot, so I try not to give books multiple spots, because, like, sometimes my favorite of the months are actually, like, not 5-star books, which really, like, wait, huh? Because that happened, what month did that happen in? 1 second. Where my favorite of the month was not my highest rated book. Flipping, because I know it's in here somewhere. I think, oh, yes. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never mind, I gave it 5 stars anyways. So I was going to say Trials of Apollo, I gave the Dark Prophecy, that one 5 stars. I forgot that I gave that 5 stars. Nope, yeah. I guess only on rare occasions is it that Queen of Nothing has a 4-star rating for me. And I'm putting it as my favorite of the month due to the fact that I actually really liked it. And as much as I loved Powerful, and as much as I'm like, this is a 5-star book, it is. It did, in the context of like, oh, which book did I still think about after the fact? Or, how do I explain this where it doesn't sound like I'm switching reviews here? No, I loved Powerful. I still love Powerful. It's great. That book did feel a little bit almost repetitive, obviously, because it's a novella that takes place during the first book. So it didn't feel... Like, I gave it the same rating as Powerful because it felt like I was just reading chapters that could have been in Powerful. But Queen of Nothing was really good. I still didn't have a 5-star feel from it, which is upsetting to me because I don't actually think any of those books got a 5-star from me, which is, I know, disappointing for me. I was really hoping those would be 5-star books, but they just didn't end up making it to 5-star books. They all got really close. I think 2 of them are 4 stars and 1 of them's a 3. I think The Cruel Prince is a 3-star because that one's just, that one was a little, I don't even really know how to explain it. People who've read that book probably know what I'm talking about. It's like, okay. So, that's why my favorite of the month is almost always different from my highest rated. Just because I don't like having, obviously it's my highest rated, but I may have enjoyed this book a little. I may have enjoyed the reading experience of this book more than that one. Even though Powerful is 5 stars and it's my highest rated, I kind of enjoyed my reading experience of the Queen of Nothing a little bit more than Powerful, because it did feel like, for a majority of Powerful, I was just like, I don't know. I really did enjoy it, but it was almost like a blur for me because it was so fast. So, there's that. That's just how my system works, and if it's confusing, I'm really sorry. So I'm going to do my start. So what I do is on the bottom for these ones, except for the longest read, that one I actually write down how many pages it is, but I do like a star rating on the bottom of these, and I have this star stencil, so I do that. So Powerful was 5 stars, so I draw 5 stars. And then I color it in with this yellow pen, felt pen thing. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then kill order was 2, which I don't give 2 stars very often, so this is... Feel bad. I'm sorry, James Dashner, not that you're watching this, but I do love your Maze Runner series. It's just this one for some reason did not hit, and then Queen of Nothing was 4. 3, 4. There we go. And then Supernova, how many pages was Supernova? 560 pages. 560 pages. So yeah, that's how I do that, and I'll obviously be coloring in these. Now, and then I will talk about what my rating pages is going to look like, although I am going to need my computer over here for that. Because so I've been keeping track of my ratings on my phone, but I've been wanting to move that tracking, into my reading journal, because storage space sometimes, like, oh yeah, I could just put it in a journal and then my journal be as accurate as possible. And I'm just coloring these in. So, and I cannot wait to do that. So I will be keeping track of, like, I'll show you that. It's hard to explain this without actually showing you, so I will. I don't know if I'm the first person to do this or if other people have done this. But I really don't know. So you'll have to tell me in the comments down below if you've seen other creators or booktubers or whatever, or yourself do this. Okay, so I finished coloring those in, and I'll actually show you. So I have my June TBR already written out on here. And my TBRs, by the way, are not written in any particular order. I just check them off at whatever book I read. They're just written in that way. So we have my June TBR here, and if you want to know how I picked my June TBR, because I did something really fun with colored pencils, go watch that video. And obviously I haven't done this side yet. But like I have, like, obviously books, pages, hours, like it's the same setup. I do the same setup. So I haven't done this page yet, so I'll be doing that right now. And I use this little ribbon looking one for these, and then I color them in using like a highlighter or something. So we're gonna do that. Name that sound. Or tune or whatever. I don't even really know what I was humming. I think it was Star Wars, but okay, did that. And then now I'm gonna write, what is the color I was using? Oh, a light blue, so probably this blue. So we're gonna do, with the highlighter, because I do this all the time, June review, and then we're going to do maybe like a little design around the tippy top here. Let's like go like that, yeah, and then go maybe like that, and like do maybe something like this, do that, and then maybe do that. That looks a little weird, but you know what, we're doing it. And then do something like that, there, that, there. Kind of looks like what I was trying to do up there, I tried to redo over here, but I don't know. I'm still working out the kinks. So we're going to use the same blue. Do I want to use the same blue or do I want to use a different blue? I have a lot of highlighters and stuff, so I'm to the point of where I have like 2 bags of them. Do I have, where did I put, ooh, that blue. we're gonna switch to this blue. Now, they are two different shades. This is darker, or lighter, so we're gonna do this one. And we just color in the ribbon, heading, whatever you want to call it. And then put in like longest, lowest, favorite, highest. And then I do like highest rated, longest rated. Like I do the whole phrase. Favorite of the month, I abbreviate. Set. So favorite of the month is like FOTM. Favorite of the month. Again, I don't know how entertaining this video is of me just, you can't even really see what I'm doing, but gotta quicken this up because the next thing I'm gonna take a pause and actually do it myself and then come back and show you guys. But okay, so we're gonna do highest rated, longest read. Let's move that down here actually. And then we'll do favorite of the month down here, and then lowest rated up here. So I kind of like mixing them up. So there's that. So that's prepared for when I get to the end of this month and do all of that. So we're gonna flip over to this page and do the reviews and stuff. So I don't know if you want to watch me do that. I don't think you really can because I can't like film myself and write at the same time. So I will be back in who knows how long, and I'll show you the kind of where I'm at. So see you in a bit. So this is what I've gotten done so far. So I've gotten through January and February. So this section of it, I'm gonna only go through January to May, and then I'm gonna do, well actually how would that, I wouldn't even know how that, because like I haven't done this side yet. So obviously you can see, I'll get back to what I was saying to say it. So obviously you see all the ratings here on the sides, the names of the books, same here. What I'm gonna do is, yeah, like I said, this is only gonna go from January to May, and then we're gonna go like a couple more months, like June to maybe June. Like it's for the rest of the month is actually what I'm trying to say, or the rest of the year. Go through obviously all of these for the remainder of the year, and then do another sheet of this closer to the end of that. Obviously this is just January through February, then we're gonna have March, April, May, and then I don't think I'll be able to fit all three of those on this page, but I'll try my absolute hardest. But yeah, this is kind of my idea that I was going for. So I think that's gonna actually be the end of this video. I don't know if I'm gonna take a break from doing this for a second because I've been doing it for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little, I wouldn't say quick, but tour of how my rainy journal and how I kind of do this. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, so please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!